quick question for the Artemis crew. What food from Earth would you bring with you into space? And why would it be lasagna? Because that's the greatest food.
Again, not really a question.
Yeah.
Because he was like, it's lasagna.
It's got to be lasagna. You know, there is lasagna on Space Station, and it wasn't too bad. Probably not my favorite food of all, but yeah, lasagna's not a bad option. It's a high calorie meal. If you're trying to, carb load for a spacewalk or something, it's a great option.
Yeah, I remember Christina saying that her favorite food on the menu, and actually, she was saying that she was getting in trouble because people kept on saying, you can't eat mac and cheese every day, Christina.
We mentioned the mac and cheese and brisket earlier. Man, I would put those two on a tortilla. That would be great.
That sounds delicious, delicious. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for sending in those questions. For everyone from a 5-year-old that we got a question from to all the way to Roy Woods Jr. there, a comedian. So thank you so much. And if you're just joining us, welcome to the Space Coast of Florida, where we are counting down to liftoff of Artemis 2. You see a beautiful aerial shot there of our rocket on the pad. For the first time in more than 50 years, we are sending humans to fly around the moon and back, and we're taking you all of you with us on this next chapter of human spaceflight. I'm NASA's Megan Cruz, and this is NASA astronaut Nicole Ayers. Great to have you here, Nicole.
Yes, this has been a beautiful day. Excited. We're continuing to march towards this launch.
Yeah, and if all goes as planned, this crew could travel farther from Earth than any other humans before them and see parts of the moon no one has ever laid eyes on. How exciting.
Yes. Exciting is an understatement, I think.
That's true.
We're going to see the far side of the moon for the first time by humans in a long time. It's important.
And as the crowd again builds behind us, more activity that you're seeing here at the Kennedy Space Center press site. We also have a ton of people gathering around the world to watch this history-making moment. So let's take a look at those watch parties now.
Oh.
That crowd has grown. We checked them probably like 30 minutes ago, and it was half that. But again, as we get closer and closer to launch, we are seeing more and more people gather together, wanting to experience this together and not just in a vacuum at home,
Yes, this is so exciting. Look at all of those people. Man.
And now here we are back in Seattle, the Museum of Flight. Again, people gathered there to show their kid. We see someone walking in the second row there. His first crewed launch to the moon. How exciting.
That is exciting.
Hello, everyone.
Woo.
Oh, that's so great. And now let's get you up to speed on what's happened so far. Again, we are now within an hour of the opening of our launch window. So what has been happening so far today? Well, a lot. After waking up and grabbing a bite to eat, our Artemis 2 crew suited up inside the historic crew quarters, a tradition that dates back decades. Teams helped them into their custom Orion crew survival suits, and just like other crews before them, they gathered around a table for a card game to pass the time, but to also burn off any lingering bad luck before they walked in the footsteps of every NASA astronaut launching from Kennedy Space Center since Apollo 7 in 1968. They walked outside the Neil Armstrong Operations and Checkout Building to greet a crowd of family, friends, supporters before getting into their Astrovan for their security escorted ride out to Launch Complex 39B. They got a close-up look at the SLS rocket, then walked across the crew access arm and climbed one by one inside their Orion spacecraft. After that, teams conducted final checks with the crew before closing both hatches, the crew module hatch, as well as what you're seeing there, the launch abort system hatch. And now we are back live at the pad where the closeout crew is getting ready to leave the White Room. They are now tethered, Nicole, because they are about to move some pieces that connect the Orion spacecraft to the White Room, correct?
Yes, there's kind of what I would call a shroud. You can see them working that there. So it is actually connected, so that way the gap between the crew access arm and the crew module, and well, I guess that's the LAS there, is covered. But they're about to remove that so that the crew access arm is not connected to the rocket in any way, so that it can retract here in the next few minutes.
And for how we're looking with the launch countdown milestones, let's go to Daryl Nail in the Launch Control Center.
All right, thank you very much, Megan. And as you can see there, the finishing touches, as you've been talking about, to the LAS, which brings me to that subject because we currently are hearing the launch team is working an issue that was reported out with the LAS. At least there's an issue apparently with a battery on the LAS. The engineer who is in charge of the launch abort system sits on console here, reported that a temperature for one of the two LAS batteries is out of range. And although it's not a constraint for launch right now, it would be when that temperature is checked inside of T-minus 6 minutes, which is inside of terminal count. So right now, the team is working some troubleshooting on this issue. Going to follow, of course, along closely with what they learn. But again, a battery temp for one of the two batteries on the LAS is out of spec. And the team is working to understand, first of all, whether or not this may be a sensor issue or is there an issue with the battery itself. So again, looking into it, troubleshooting and researching as we speak. With regards to the weather, we did get some good news there. Launch Weather Officer Mark Berger reporting to the launch director that the weather chances have now improved for the window. We are up to 90% go, which is great news. Again, 90% go. That is up from the 80% that we started when we had the first weather forecast come out officially 3 days ago. And so that is great. And for anybody who's here in the launch area knows that is certainly viewable. They can see that by just looking up. So we're getting some good clearing as forecast. And then just a reminder for those people who are watching the launch from the nearby area that if you're watching on an internet-enabled device, just remember that there may be a little bit of a delay. Can't tell you how much of a delay, but since it's on an internet device, sometimes this broadcast might be a little behind what you're actually seeing. So just keep that in mind as you are watching. Don't wait to the last second to run outside if you're inside your RV or your camper or your house. That's the latest here from the firing room. Of course, we'll keep track of that last battery issue. We'll send it back now to Megan and Nicole at the host desk.
Two of them there had to be tethered to the inside of the white room, because obviously now we have detached the white room from the Orion spacecraft.
Yes, that view is quite something.
Yeah, spectacular. Yep. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I forgot. Nicole's scared of heights. An astronaut afraid of heights is actually not uncommon, as we've learned today. But yes, so obviously, again, things proceeding as we march closer to the opening of our 2-hour launch window at 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, the closeout crew just finishing up those last couple of things they have to do.
Boom shakalaka. We are back on the live stream. Just took a long nap. Lots happened since then, as we can tell. And I'll just do a quick update for you. I guess maybe I can turn captions on for this so you can still read if you want.
So if we can take a shot of the crew inside the capsule if one's available, why don't we talk a little bit more about each of them?
But
we have Artemis 2 Commander.
Because it was talking, I have like easy 20 minutes to kind of give you an update on what's happening, all right? So I'm gonna have to turn this down myself so it doesn't distract me. So we have had a solar storm impact that happened today, about 9 hours ago. We can look at the data here. Let's pull it up. Here we have our real-time solar wind, and we see that conditions were normal basically up till here. We're looking at a variety of things with our real-time solar wind. Okay, so this is our magnetic field. It went from 6 to 14, so pretty big jump. 5 is about normal, 5 nanotesla. And to show that I'm not AI, look, I can put a hand over my face. Now we're at 7, so it's actually been a very muted impact. I was not expecting it to be so muted. I mean, the KP index didn't even budge. This could just be the first of like, some waves, but it's quite muted. Now it's at 7 and 5. We did see our velocity go up to about 450. Now it's right back to where it was. Our density is still very high. It's not very high, but it's around 5 to 10 or so. Basically, unremarkable solar wind impact. And that may be just kind of what holds. I do think we have more, though, coming in. That's probably not the full impact, because you see here our low energy protons and our electrons, and they're still elevated. So typically when you have an impact, that's right when they spike, and then they'll start to go down. It's been 9 hours. They've actually started to go up a little bit at the very end there, at least with this green one there, which is this specific range here. So it looks like we're still potentially tracking for a bigger solar storm impact in the next 12 hours at any moment in time. So we'll see what happens with that. If we look at our X-ray flux, we had this big solar flare right here. This is, if we scroll down, this is back at the turn, basically early in the morning on the 30th Universal Time. So this would have been late at night Eastern Time or Western Time on the 29th. Then this long decay. Now we have had some activity pumping back up again, two C-class flares. So it could happen at any moment now. Like whether the sun decides to pop off or not, it's possible that we just get another big flare, because if you look at the longer time record here, we see that we had a flare here, 48 hours later, a flare there, 48 hours later, a flare. We see that basically nothing happened in between. And now this one's actually gone beyond that 48-hour mark. Instead, it's had 2 C flares getting bigger. So it's definitely interesting to see. Here we can see our sun, 131 angstroms right here. That's that big 1.5x class flare. That's the solar storm we think that's hitting us right now. See tons of sunspots right now on the Earth facing side. I can show you those here. Tons of sunspots on Earth facing. So the sun is covered with active regions that could blast these sort of solar flares by having big explosions. That's, in my mind, one of the biggest risks with this Artemis 2 mission is that they are up there when we get a big X flare. This guy's not yet in the strike zone. It's getting close, as you see at the end of this video. It's quite a big region. It's already had a 1.5x flare. Yeah, I mean, some of these others are kind of tiny, but it just shows in general a lot of flux pushing out from the sun. So this is definitely significant and not to be underappreciated. Here we can look at our 193 view of the sun, and we see this large, there's that shock wave. We see this large coronal hole here. I see it as a bunny. Easter's coming. But this is going to be in the geoaffected position yet. So regardless, we are going to be hit with some enhanced space weather over the next few days. You see how it grows during this 48-hour time frame, right? So it's right there, transequatorial. It's getting wider. It's getting bigger. So right around the 2nd or 3rd of April, maybe even slightly before, probably around the 2nd of April, late tomorrow, I would say, we should get hit by that. That's going to elevate the geomagnetic conditions on our planet. And remember, this Artemis 2 crew, they're going to be circling within our magnetosphere for, I think, like a day or two, probably about a day before they blast off to the moon. So they're going to be in there for all this. And also the moon is still, if it's a full moon today, okay, it's a full moon today, and which means the moon is in the magnetotail, and then as they get towards it, it's going to move out of the magnetotail. It's going to be around the the edge. So we're going to be exposing these astronauts to these sort of space weather conditions for the next 10 days. It's definitely higher than normal. I think the risk of more big flares happening while they're up there is certainly elevated, just considering all the sunspot activity that we've had. This new flare here coming in is the one that's been showing some activity. Or sorry, this new sunspot is the one that's been doing those little C-class flares, not our big guy. One point of evidence against that doing something again, but we'll have to wait and see. The other big variable is that we have a comet flying into the inner solar system well, it's already there, and it's going to be doing its perihelion on the 4th of April. So here we see our stereo ahead imagery. This is from one of our probes ahead of Earth in Earth's orbit, but ahead of us. And you'll see this comet fly in here at the bottom. See right there? That's our Sungrazer comet. That's C2026 A1 maps. This is back on the 29th. So it just went through this frame on the 29th and on the 30th, and it's about to appear in our coronagraph. I haven't seen it yet on the coronagraph imagery, but we will see it imminently on our coronagraph, and it should be coming up right around this area. So probably within about 6 hours, it'll start to appear, but I'm not seeing it yet. Regardless, that's going to do a perihelion very close to the sun, 0.005 astronomical units, closer than the sun, closer than the Earth-Moon separation distance, and that could perhaps provoke the sun, all those sunspots being on the Earth-facing side. I think there's a lot of space weather risk right now, and they're simply not addressing it. There are other space weather people talking about this. So it's not like I'm the only one who's potentially worried about a solar space interaction for this moon mission. But they're going ahead on April Fool's Day. So yeah. Now, one cool thing to look at would be here, which is depending on which trajectory that they launch, we could have a large portion of the United States see this rocket launch. I mean, regardless, a lot of people are going to see it, but here we see the southeast trajectory. And so we see the Caribbean really gets complete coverage of seeing this rocket launch, but a lot of the southeastern US does as well. But if we go to an eastern rocket launch, this is like the first 5-8 minutes right here. We see that a lot. And then we go to the northeast rocket launch, what I'm hoping happens. We see most of the East Coast, like basically everyone will see this rocket launch. Should they go outside, have low cloud cover, get their eyes on it, get some binoculars, whatever. So for those of you that say space is fake, Earth is flat, whatever, this is all being done in a production room. Well, if you live in these areas, how about you go outside and see if you can see this thing? Because millions of Americans are going to be seeing this rocket should it blast off tonight. And you simply just can't fake that. So yeah, we'll see which trajectory they launch. They're not going to ever go to the west, though. The reason why you launch from Florida is because basically the planet spins underneath you. You can just go like this. So that, you know, they never launch this direction. So this is the direction that they'll go. Hopefully, regardless, even like, let's say, base case, they just simply go east. Tons of people are going to see this. I mean, we're getting all the way up here to New York, right? We get all the way over to Louisiana, Mississippi, Pennsylvania, like just huge coverage, even if they do a route to the east. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep you up to date throughout this live stream with some commentary. If you're new to the channel, watching, hello, I'm your host, Stefan Burns. We cover all this sort of stuff here on the channel. I decided to not go to Florida. I actually, in fact, didn't even think about going to Florida to see this myself for some reason. It just never crossed my mind. But the plan with Artemis is to do a lot more of these. Like by 2027, they want to start doing one a month, which is pretty wild considering each space launch system costs like $5 billion to make. So it's a lot of money, but at least it's money better spent than cruise missiles in Iran or something like that. Regardless, it's going to be a big expenditure if that does happen That'll be in 2027. National debt's already pretty crazy, but that's a whole different story. But this is basically a untested platform. I mean, really, it's been tested to some degree via past launches because they are effectively like reusing components and repurposing them, upgrading them from the space shuttle era. But this entire assembled space launch system is very unproven. I mean, they launched it for the, I think they used it for the Artemis 1 mission where they launched the Orion spaceship out by itself. But in terms of it having 4 astronauts inside and all this stuff, I mean, just pray, if you know, have good thoughts, pray, hope for the best, but there is a very real possibility that in 40 minutes time we see something tragic unfold. It's possible. So we hope that doesn't happen. We hope that everything goes stellar and we get some amazing accomplishments achieved. Honestly, that would be the best case scenario. There are always going to be risks with this sort of thing. It's a full moon today. It's just a heightened energetic moment in general as a result of that, as a result of some of these other energetic factors I mentioned, like the space weather. So yeah, we're going to keep watching the NASA live stream on this. You know, they're kind of it's going to start ramping up soon. Once they get close, then they'll really be showing the astronauts get loaded on and everything, and all the things happening. So I'm not going to probably be providing all that much commentary at that moment in time. So I wanted to talk to you about this now, but I'll be here watching every step of the way with you guys. And the only exception is that if they show this thing arcing to the northeast, then I'm going, or even just from here, I'm going to run outside, see if I can see this thing, because I am in this viewing area right now. So that would be what I would do. So I would leave the live stream for a little bit because I want to see this thing for myself if I can. And it's not too cloudy where I am right now. There's some clouds, but we should be able to see it. So yeah, T minus 36 minutes into the launch window opens. They may decide to launch right then. They may decide to wait till the end of their 2-hour period. They may have to scrub because of this battery issue or something else. So yeah, we'll see how much of a how much of a success or a bust this is, but we'll watch it together.
It's going to set them on that nice circular path around the Earth. That's when they're going to start to be able to really check out this spacecraft. The Orion spacecraft is going to be able to, like we've talked about, be maneuvered by the crew. They're going to check out those life support systems, and communication checkout's going to be vital at that point as well, obviously. Then they will be conducting that another burn, and that's going to raise them just a little bit higher again. And then they will, it'll be about time for the ICPS to separate, and they will start another lap around the Earth as well. Now, the ICPS, but even after it separates, its job will not be done because they will have the opportunity to conduct something called the proximity operations demonstration. And this is going to be really important for our future lunar missions because the ICPS actually has a target on it, and the crew is going to have the opportunity to manually maneuver these spacecraft like we've mentioned and practice those docking maneuvers. Now, obviously, they will not be docking for this mission, but that is, again, going to be critical for those lunar missions in the future. Now, all right, after that ICPS has separated and they've done that second lap, they're going to conduct 2 more burns. And what these burns are going to do is set them up to the high enough orbit and a fast enough speed in order to conduct the translunar injection. This is going to be that critical moment and that critical milestone where they are going to produce about 6,000 pounds of thrust. And this is that point that is going to take them out of low Earth orbit into deep space, and it's going to set them on that nice path towards that lunar flyby. And I know we have talked a little bit about why this could be a record-breaking flyby and journey to the moon. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Megan so she can tell us just why.
Yeah, she's talking about the distance record set by the Apollo 13 astronauts in 1970. They were 248,655 miles away from Earth, and this Artemis 2 crew might surpass that on flight day 6 when they fly around the moon by more than 4,000 miles.
Yeah, it's a long ways. It's tough to fathom 250,000 miles from Earth, right? I mean, space, the space station is only 250 miles. And so we're going, I don't want to do the public math, but we're going much further than that. But it's important, right? Because we want to get back to the moon. We want to see the surface. We want to see the far side of the moon. And the way we do that is by breaking distance records.
Yeah, and the exact distance record depends on exactly when they launched, like the time, the day. So we'll learn more as we go into this 10-day mission with the Artemis 2 crew. But here we are, 32 minutes, 50 seconds and counting from the opening of our launch window. Feels really, really surreal here as more and more people come to gather on the press site lawn here at Kennedy Space Center. Who wanted to wish our Artemis 2 crew a safe journey.
Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, you are the real deal. You're flying to the moon for all of us, and we are in awe. You're the true heroes.
You are not just astronauts. You are pioneers, venturing deeper into the unknown. You are not alone. You will be on planet Earth.
Hey, I'm Victor Wembanyama, and I play basketball in the NBA. But I'm not only interested in shooting hoops. I'm also interested in shooting stars, dark matter, and all other types of astronomical phenomenon. And to the Artemis 2 astronauts who are shooting for the moon, I wish them good luck and Godspeed.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan Gosling, and I play a biologist who goes to space to save the planet in the film Project Hail Mary. But the Artemis 2 astronauts are going to space for real, and they will travel farther from Earth than any humans in history. Sending all our best wishes to the Artemis 2 crew.
I just want to say how proud I am of each of you and how inspired you make me. But it's not just about me. Your mission is going to inspire future generations of scientists, engineers, athletes, and dreamers to do something that they never thought possible.
Hey, it's Roy Wood Jr., and I want to wish the Artemis 2 crew a happy and safe journey to the moon, well, around the moon. To go around, I know what you're doing. You got to look for a parking space. This is to go around the moon, make sure somewhere to park, and then you park journey. Good luck.
It's actually a really good way to explain what how this mission builds. Again, we are hoping to land astronauts on the surface of the moon in maybe 2 years. So yes, we are looking around the moon on this lunar flyby mission to see where we might park.
It's crazy to me that, as you guys saw this all, that everyone has to like read off of a script or a teleprompter for just like a 10-second, like, hey, good job, astronauts, go to the moon, we're supporting you. Like they can't say the words themselves or just think of it. I always find that odd that people can be like very mechanical, but these are some of the best actors or comedians that we have, that they have no like ability to engage in a real way with people. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Chat's wild right now. Hope you're all doing well. I'm just turning myself off every now and then because I'm still eating. I'm eating some food right now, so I don't want to be eating too much on screen, but I will be eating popcorn.
David Alexander, NASA Glenn Research Center, Office of STEM Engagement.
Jennifer Becerra, Johnson Space Center, the Office of STEM Engagement. Here we go, right back here. Where are you from?
I'm from NASA Glenn Research Center, Joseph Panakitis.
Joseph, here we go.
Wes Furman from APL.
Mark Robinson, Stennis Space Center, Commercial Space.
Amira Flores, Armstrong, Office of the STEM Engagement.
Molly Kearns, NASA Glenn, Space Communications and Navigation.
Matthew Pierce, Goddard Institute for Space Studies in New York City.
Here we go, and right over here.
Lauren Ring, Ames Research Center, Data Integration.
So we're coming together. We're one big NASA team, one big NASA family, and we have one major message before we launch tonight. 1, 2, 3. Go!
My gosh, that made me so emotional. That was so inspiring to see. I mean, wow. Yeah, that was great. I mean, just to hear everybody say their position, what they're doing to support this mission is amazing. And I'm sure this was something that really rang true and resonated with NASA's administrator, Jared Isaacman, again, to see the workforce come together to do the work and then to be here for launch. So why don't we actually go over to him now with our Jasmine Hopkins at one of our other viewing locations.
All right, Megan, thank you so much. The energy here on the balcony is honestly becoming electric as we get so close to launch. And now we are thrilled to welcome NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. Jared, we're really entering a golden age of exploration. How will Artemis 2 set the pace for the coming years?
Well, I mean, Artemis 2 is the opening act, right? This is the test mission. This is getting very comfortable with the SLS rocket, the Orion spacecraft. No humans have ever flown on this before, right? And we're going to put it through its paces. We'll go into Earth orbit for a little bit, make sure Orion's doing okay, and then we are sending them, right? We're going to send them farther into space than any humans might have gone before, 250,000 miles away, and it's going to set up for the subsequent missions. That's why we're going into the golden age of science and discovery right now, because you're going to see a moon rocket launch in 2027 when we do our testing with the lander. We're going to go for the landing on Artemis 4 in 2028, and in parallel, we're going to build the moon base, right? And that is going to be filled with science discovery and tech demonstrations that's going to support the enduring.
So obviously, year ahead of us, with Artemis 3 and 4, Artemis 2, what will be our single greatest takeaway from the mission?
I'll tell you, I mean, after ignition, I mean, the moment that I'm most excited for is splashdown. There's no question about that. Good shoots coming down off the West Coast. But look, I think the takeaway from this is gaining extreme comfort in the Orion spacecraft, right? I mean, this is very different than what we've done for more than a half century, right? I mean, the velocities that spacecraft is going to re-enter at, it's going to be new territory for us. We want to get our arms around that completely. So I would say the performance of SLS plus Orion is everything on this one. We want to make sure we do it in as a safe way as we possibly can, understanding what we are undertaking right here, bring our crew back, learn as much as we can from the vehicle, set up for Artemis 3 in 2027.
Right. And Administrator, we've actually had a pretty young audience today here, some kids running around the balcony. How do you hope Artemis 2 inspires that next generation?
I talk about this all the time. Like, one of our overall KPIs that we should be tracking is the number of people living and working in space. Well, what's another strong number 2 on that one? It's the number of kids that are dressing up as astronauts for Halloween, so that they grow up, that they're inspired to want to join in this grand endeavor, whether they come work with us here at NASA or they join in industry, but they're helping humankind venture out farther, pursue all the secrets of the universe.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of kids dressed as astronauts this year. And finally, Jared, you've really made it a personal mission to get to know the people behind the work at NASA. Do you have any final thoughts, any final words before today's history-making launch?
Yeah, well, one, I want to express a lot of appreciation. I'll tell you what, the 4 astronauts on top of Artemis 2 know this. It takes an army to pull a mission together like this, right? Across all 10 of our centers, all of our commercial partners, the international partners that come together to make this possible. My sincere appreciation for everyone who is currently working the mission right now. So getting them ready for launch, that will be watching over them in mission control, recovering this crew when they splash down off the West Coast. I have complete trust and confidence in your abilities. And everybody else who's not directly working on Artemis 2, Artemis 3 is coming up next year. When this mobile launcher gets back in the VAB, we're going to start stacking.
Wow, plenty of excitement ahead of us. Jared Isaacman, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Of course. All right. And with that, let's get back to the countdown with NASA's Megan Cruz.
Under 25 minutes and counting from the opening of our 2-hour launch window. And take a look at all these people behind us. I literally, every moment I turn around and I see the clock, I am like, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
There are more people and
This
less time.
woman
Yes, exactly.
is so
which
hungry
is
right
a great
now.
problem to have.
Yes.
She didn't eat lunch at all. She's very hungry.
Founders signing the Declaration of Independence. Exploration is a part of America's DNA, and it continues now with our return to the moon.
250 years ago, 13 colonies laid the foundation for the greatest and most enduring democracy in the history of the world. One driven by courage, faith, and freedom. From that moment, we became a nation defined not by where we stood, but by how far we were willing to go. We conquered vast frontiers, invented tools that shaped a modern world. We found light in the dark, and we rose from the earth. Faster, higher, farther. We pushed beyond the sky and into the unknown. We carried our courage into the cosmos, and we planted the American flag on the moon, the defining achievement of American superiority in space. Today, our curiosity stretches farther than ever. American robots search ancient rivers on Mars. New telescopes unfold to glimpse the first stars. And a new generation prepares to return to the moon, this time to stay. For 250 years, America has carried the light of humanity forward. But American exceptionalism isn't inherited, it's earned. Our greatness comes not only from what we've done, but what we're still determined to discover. Because in every era, across every horizon, America is at its best when it's reaching for something greater. America celebrates 250 years, and we are leading the world into the future.
Yeah, maybe this will work out well, but a lot of what we're doing is not good.
Flight in a generation. That they hope it inspires children around the world. And recently, a group of kids here at Kennedy Space Center got a surprise of a lifetime while watching that rocket roll to the launch pad.
So tell me what color it is. Orange. And who's going to be on that rocket? We're going to be on that rocket.
I could make it. Did you see it? Okay, so everybody's looking at the rocket because it is kind of cool and impressive. One of the coolest things happening there is on top of the giant.
T-minus 21. I'm surprised they're not like showing control panel and all the engineers and everything at this point. I mean, it's only 20 minutes away from their launch window. It's getting pretty close now. I wonder what the battery situation is. You know, that battery that was overheating. If they said that if it's still overheated at T-6, then they'll have to scrub. So interesting to see what's going to happen. Chipmunk burns. I could do a big handful of popcorn.
Kids and their excitement and, you know, even just being real. Like, I don't remember what I was
know, he
gonna
goes,
ask.
but I'm glad you're here. Now, here we are, Space Center Houston. The crowd has exponentially grown throughout the day. We started showing you live shots from in there probably an hour ago. And now take a look at all the people there getting ready to witness history together. It's something really special to be able to witness something like this together.
Yeah, you know, we've heard from celebrities and officials and kids, and you know, it's amazing. People from all the world came here today to Florida to watch. So it's something. It's hard to put into words just how much we're seeing today.
Great news. The team was tracking an issue with the launch system battery. They appear to have cleared that issue. So we are go for launch.
Yes, it's exciting.
U.S. Space and Rocket Center here, Huntsville, Alabama, waving to the Artemis 2 crew sitting right there beside Orion. Inside of 20 minutes from the opening of our launch window. And right now we are targeting the top of that launch window. So we could be launching here in about 19 minutes, Nicole.
Wow. I don't know if I expected this today. I'm excited, and you know, I'm glad they were able to clear the problem with the battery on the LAS, and everything has gone really smoothly today. It's been great. The weather cleared up. It's a beautiful day for a launch.
And so now, as we are so close to possibly launch now, just what are your final thoughts as we are about to embark on a mission back to the moon, the first time in more than 50 years?
Yeah, you know, just so proud of the crew and all of.
Yo, chat, drop a comment. Who is blazing right now? Let us know.
Sarah, and you know, it's the like they want to be the show.
420 is coming.
CGLS, can you help us with that, please?
They want to be the crew wants to be the shoulders that the next generation can climb on.
001.
You know, I think it's in their patch. We're going for all. It's in the name of their capsule: integrity, representing humility, and the professionalism of everyone got them there today. So, them, we love them. We're excited for them, and we cannot wait to see what they see.
Just leveraging everything we've learned so far as an agency, taking us from Apollo now to the launch pad here, 39B. Orion and SLS poised to again fly us into the history books. And before we leave you now here at the host desk to get back into operations, we just wanted to answer one question for you guys. We asked you earlier on today, what are you most excited for? And we asked you to vote on Instagram and Twitch.
Okay, I started a poll asking whether NASA will launch or scrub. Your thoughts? So if you want to do the poll, let's find out. Right now it's at 67% launch, baby launch, 2% scrub. You know, we launched last in 69. At least that was the first moon start in 69. Right now it's at 69%. 44 votes now. What do you guys think?
This is an instrumentation failure. So 2 batteries on the LAS. The LAS, of course, and with the help of my 2-year-old son's model rocket, Daniel said I could use this. Okay. The LAS is right here. It's the Orion capsules inside of here. It's used to pull Orion off the rocket in case the rocket is something's going on with the rocket, either on the pad or in flight. 2 batteries are bad. Well, sorry. The 2 batteries reported an out-of-family temperature, and it was very much out of family. And so they checked the data going back into the vehicle assembly building where they recharged the batteries and worked on them. And they have good, solid data they reported that tells them that this is an instrumentation failure. There's something wrong with the sensor. And so now I'm listening to the launch team get ready to merge their operational channel. We're now entering one of the most consequential phases of launch day, and that's terminal count, the final 10 minutes.
And OTC, NTD on 212 for com check.
Good, com. Help me.
I hear you the same. FTC.
TTC is on 212.
All right, copy that.
All right, guys, I plugged in headphones. Let me know
NASA
if
Test
the
Director
sound is
Spaulding confirming communications with his team. There will be two polls that we'll hear. One from Spaulding, the NASA Test Director, confirming the ground systems and the launch team are ready to proceed. At this point,
as I said, let me know if you guys can hear me well, and that you can still hear the audio well, because I plugged in headphones. I'm going to turn it back on right now.
on the NASA Test Director team. So we'll hear him poll his team. The other poll that we're waiting for is the poll from Launch Director Charlie Blackwell Thompson. We'll take that final status from NASA management before giving the go to come out of a hold. And you're seeing the clock count down at L minus 12 minutes.
CCL, OTC, Rhino, S1.
I turned the volume down
CCL.
for the
reconfigure
stream.
ARS primary loop ISO valves.
Copy, that's in work.
And CDR, OTC, Rhino, Earth 1.
Go.
ARS loop ISO valves are being closed at this time.
Integrity copies. NGDLP.
Go.
Yes, I had a discussion with CIS and with MER manager regarding the observation the CIS had a few minutes ago. They were able to confirm with BCI photos that the condition that they observed has been there since 2025. MER manager has had a chance to review the findings, and they do not have any constraints from either a CIS or MER manager perspective.
Okay. Copy all. And Launch Director, NTD, you copy?
Yes, sir. I copy. That's good news.
OTC, CCL 212.
OTC.
ARS primary loop isolation valve configuration.
And CGLS NTD, cancel pending, please.
GLS copies, and that's complete.
All right, and for all personnel, we got a little bit more work to do before we pick up the clock, and we're about a little over a minute from getting to T-minus 10 minutes, but we've canceled the resume time there, and then we'll pick it up after we get through all of our work and anything else that we need to do to get through the remainder of counts. So we'll continue working that to get to our T0 today. So when we get to about 50 seconds from now.
Okay, so because of us wanting to see this and not getting interrupted, I'm going to turn the ads off on the live stream now. And I hope that clicks into effect. So we should be ad free on this now going forward.
Copy that. I have an LCC violation of O-CT.
It was a transient LCC violation, so transponder 1 had a demodulated SNR estimate that went down to 2 dBm. When it should have been between 10 and 13, it is now back up to 12, but we did lose that for just a moment. It does not appear that we lost our bit sync or carrier lock, which would be indicative that we lost our lock with the vehicle. So at this point, recommendation would still be go. However, we do have a pre-planned contingency procedure if we want to look at that. But again, this is transient, so we're back in a nominal range.
All right, let's see, LPE NTD.
Yeah, we're not seeing that hit. So I guess the question for COSC, was that less than 3 samples? Is that below our persistence?
Stand by, let me look. It did look like it did persist for several seconds on mine, but let me
repeat on the affected LCC, please.
Yes, ma'am, that's going to be O-CT-004.
Thank you.
Also, by the way, some of you guys are behind on the live stream, so make sure you click the live button at the bottom left. Make sure you get
Yeah,
caught
I've
up
taken
to
a look
date.
at the data right here. Looks like that was a single sample.
Yeah, copy that. RPS does report that they also lost lock for about 5 seconds. So I would love to ask KUS and see if they also lost lock with the vehicle for any extended amount of period.
And COSE, while we're doing that, these are 1/10 hertz measurements, correct? So we had to lose it for over 10 seconds to get a second sample.
Yes, sir, that's correct. It is 1/10 hertz.
Yeah, so from our perspective, the allowance is effectively up to 30 seconds, up to 3 samples based on the 1/10 hertz. This is not an LCC violation, I believe.
Yes, sir, I would agree with that at this point. Copy that.
We're checking with KUS on 232.12 access. We're trying to verify, but it sounds like they have a loss of lock as well. About 2 seconds. Okay. And I guess for both KUS and COSE, do we have lock now?
That's affirmed. We do have lock for COSE.
Yeah, so from the integration console perspective, we did have a temporary loss there within the allowable, and per the requirement, let's go.
And this is Houston Flight. We have lock and we have good telemetry here in GSE.
And KUS is reported to they have good lock now. So with all of that, OSC, then are we going to go configuration per your LCC?
Yes, sir. Recommendation would be go.
Okay. LP, you concur with that? Yes, sir. LP concurs go.
This
And
girl
launch
sounds
director.
nervous, though.
Yes,
She
sir.
sounds
Launch
nervous.
director concurs go.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and just verify everybody has everything else complete, launch director. And if we do, we'll be ready to pick up the poll at that time, unless there's something else that you're aware of.
No, sir. Let's verify all our work is complete, and I would like one last check of our constraint.
All right, let's see. OC, are you still waiting for comments?
That is affirmed, sir.
Yeah, you only open item.
Yeah, OT, this CVSC that 400 step 290 is complete.
Okay, so OT, you're complete with all your work.
That's it.
All right, copy that.
T minus 10.
GTC is complete.
And GTC?
GTC is complete.
Okay, excellent. All right, and LPE, just want to verify we have no open constraints at this time. No open constraints. We have a clear board, sir. Okay, tracking the same here. And launch director, with that, we are clear and ready to pick up the launch readiness poll with your go.
All right, sir. I am go for the poll.
All right. And for all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the Artemis 2 launch readiness check. Verify ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC.
GTC is go.
STC.
STC is go.
GTC.
C's go.
MCO.
KO's go.
Safety console.
The safety council is go.
LPE. LPE's go. RTD.
RTD's go.
Houston Flight.
Houston Flight is go.
ROC.
Rock is go.
And CDR.
Cruise go.
And launch director NTD.
All right, I copy all at this time. Perform my poll. Attention on that. This is the launch director performing the final poll for launch. Verifying constraint and go launch. Thank you. EGS, safety officer.
The Artemis those are go.
Thank you. Range weather.
Launch weather is go.
Pasco, like $200.
And Artemis, MMT chair.
MMT's go.
Thank you, John. And Tech launch director.
Charlie PLT. Thank you, Charlie. This is Christina.
You're going for ETA.
I'm at 2.
some good loving protection energy to these astronauts. I'm going to turn the audio back on, but let's just do that.
Sequence 4, that's a helium purge of the 4 core stage engines downstream of the propellant valve. This gets all the air and moisture out of
Dear
there.
God, please protect these astronauts on their mission to space, on their trip around the moon. May there be very little solar activity, very little space weather, no technical issues, no health issues. May this be a historic journey for mankind.
All is looking good.
That helps unite us together, not only here in this country,
Coming
but
up
around the world.
In just a few seconds, we're going to get that thrust vector control actuator test. This is a gimbaling of the engines.
Thank you, amen. Let's do it. Let's do it, baby.
4 RS-25s, 3 of them shuttle heritage, 1 of them built from shuttle parts. And there you see them moving.
If you're on the East Coast, you're probably going to want to go out and see this at like 2-3 minutes or so.
Now we're going to start moving the power from both the upper stage and the lower stage of the rocket to internal.
T-minus 2 minutes right here.
Away, and now going to battery power.
GLS is go for upper stage to internal power.
So definitely like T-minus, like T plus 5.
Stage, the ICPS, and it's been switched to battery. Same miles.
It'll be a big viewing area, but it'll be higher up. So if you're in Florida, you should get the live stream on your phone and be out there right at T-minus 0 to see, because it'll quickly be visible if you don't have too much cloud cover. All right, 90 seconds.
Core stage to internal power.
All right, there's the rocket's core stage, which houses 3 flight computers, is now on its own power. There's no more hold time because there's no more margin on these batteries. So we would have to recycle back to T-minus 10 to recharge if we had a hold.
We hope nothing happens. We hope. I saw
1 minute.
In the,
right now,
in the 90s as a kid, the one that was re-entering explode.
T-minus 33 seconds.
Live, I woke up early one morning.
Ground launch sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer, or ALS. The rocket will count itself down, but honor any holds that could come from the ground. Now, shortly after liftoff, Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
GLS is go for ALS.
Great call out. The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing. And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis 2 mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
Wow.
On time, passing 30 seconds into the flights.
God, please protect these astronauts.
Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on board main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour. Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis 2 mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour.
I'm going to run out soon so I can maybe see this. But not yet. About T+5 I will.
1 minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation, expected at the 2 minute 9 second mark. We see throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engine throttling up, guidance converged.
That's some space junk.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
Get ready for the big fireworks right now.
Integrity, SM priming complete.
SM priming complete.
2 minutes 45 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. Thrusters on Integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state, ahead of service module fairing separation. Three minutes into the flight, Integrity 49 miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange, now passing 5,000 miles per hour.
They're up in the ionosphere now, the lower part.
Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
Houston, that's a great deal.
Jettison, Eco 8+02.
We see the same on board, Stan.
And Houston has you loud and clear on TDRS at the Carmen line.
Okay, I'm going to go see if I can see this thing outside.
Outstanding, Stan. We have the same.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of
I'll be
Artemis
back.
2, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen cross the boundary to space with good comm checks. Working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
Integrity, GPS processing.
Outstanding, Stan. We see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Approaching minutes into the flight, Commander Reed Wiseman confirms he has visuals of his destination. GPS guidance, navigation, and control software finishes internal checks and sends to navigation channels.
Integrity, 3 engine press.
3 engine press.
On time now, passing 5 minutes 20 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. At this point, 3 good main engines are all that's needed to carry Integrity to a nominal main engine cutoff target. Though this time we're seeing 4 good engines here in Mission Control Houston.
All right, I did not
Integrity,
see it.
75 miles in altitude,
Too many clouds.
330 miles downrange, approaching 10,000 miles per hour.
Integrity, looking good at 6 minutes.
Same on board, Stan.
Good trajectory and engine performance. Booster officer will soon report the shutdown plan to Flight Director Judd Friedling, expected at the 7-minute mark. Integrity, 78 miles in altitude, 460 miles downrange.
Integrity, expect nominal shutdown.
Integrity copies nominal shutdown.
Six minutes, 40 seconds of mission elapsed time. Shutdown plan is as expected. Again, the time of MECO was confirmed at 8 minutes, 2 seconds into the flight.
Wonder where they're getting this imagery from. It's kind of odd.
7 minutes of mission elapsed time. Throttling down as we approach the abort once around option. Milestone at the 7-minute, 30-second mark. Now 84 miles in altitude, 650 miles downrange, traveling more than 15,000 miles per hour.
Integrity, AOA open.
AOA open.
The window is now open for an abort once around option that would target splashdown in the Pacific Ocean. Still following nominal ascent at this time.
In the Pacific Ocean, not the Atlantic, right? All the way around.
About 10 seconds remaining until the main engine cutoff of the Space Launch System core stage. Standing by for confirmation of MECO and core stage separation.
Is that happening right now?
Integrity and nominal MECO core stage separated.
We see the same on board, Stan.
Eight minutes, 40 seconds into the flight, we have a nominal main engine cutoff heading in the right trajectory on the way to swing around the moon. Core stage has separated, done its job. The Space Launch System upper stage, the interim cryogenic propulsion stage, or ICPS, still attached to the Orion spacecraft. Nine minutes of mission elapsed time. Integrity crew of Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen now in orbit around the Earth at the beginning of their journey to the moon.
Integrity Houston, looking ahead to PRM numbers so far per the pad.
Copy that, Stan. Numbers for the pad.
It's like glitching out right now. This live stream.
Capcom Stan Loves now reminding the crew that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition is as expected prior to booster ignition. That time being 49 minutes, 50 seconds of mission elapsed time.
All right. Well, it looks like everything, went well. If you don't believe it, then make sure you scrub around the internet for photos from thousands of people who were out there and saw it. Or maybe you saw it yourself. I didn't see it when I went out to look. But also considering how high up it was, I don't think there was really much chance unless I knew exactly where to look and there was no clouds with binoculars or even a telescope.
Integrity, good. NEDS deploy.
Copy that, Stan. Good, Neds.
Okay, someone's saying that there's a camera inside the Orion capsule.
And Integrity Houston for PWD setup. Just a reminder, halfway open on the secondary.
We copy that, Stan. Halfway open.
Passing 11 minutes of mission elapsed time. Here, overhearing the conversation between Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman, already passing some milestones. We have a good nozzle extension deployment system. That is confirmed, complete. We also have the visors are confirmed up now past the dynamic phase of flight, that is ascent. Their launch and entry suits that provided them an extra layer of protection. Now not as needed. They're going to raise those visors. And later in today's mission, they will begin to egress or get out of the suits to begin some of their initial tasks of activating some of the systems aboard in the Integrity spacecraft.
So here's the
It's passing 12 minutes of mission.
here's the other live stream that they'll start up soon. The moment this starts up, I'll switch it over. Okay.
9 minutes 50 seconds. That's what the crew is going to be working towards. The Commander Reed Wiseman pilot Victor Glover will focus on
This doesn't do anything.
preparing for that milestone.
Are we there yet, Dad?
In the meantime, mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen will start some of the activation of environmental control life support systems. You may hear confirmation of their activation over the Orion to Earth communication network.
Houston, C3 aux power back in auto.
Copy C3 aux, and we're 2 minutes to maneuver.
This is pretty wild. This live stream from the Orion is going to be the entire mission, effectively. It's going to be like a 10-day live stream. I wonder how much privacy that they'll have. I don't know, but it's going to start up pretty soon.
Journey around the moon to verify the systems that will take us to its surface. An incredible ascent. Artemis 2 is underway. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen begin their journey to the moon. Still milestones to come up as we await solar array deploy and the critical burns that will get Integrity into high Earth orbit around the Earth before engines are fired to get us around the moon. We'll keep tabs on Integrity and its crew from here in Mission Control Houston. But for now, we're going to send it back to you, Megan and Nicole at the Kennedy Space Center. Very jealous to hear how the launch experience was over on the Space Coast.
Yeah, Gary, if people are just joining us, welcome back to the Space Coast, where we just saw Artemis 2 lift off 14 minutes ago. And wow, what an amazing launch, and an emotional one too. As soon as the rocket lifted off, Nicole, you had tears in your eyes, I had tears in my eyes, and we had all these people around us cheering. It was amazing.
Yeah, the energy was wonderful. I mean, it was a beautiful launch. You know, we've got 4 friends and family members headed to the moon. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. How does that make you feel as someone who, you know, is an astronaut as well, but also, as you said, friends?
Yeah, so just so proud of them. You know, man, we don't have the words in the English language to describe this kind of an event, and pride, love, so many emotions. You know, they are truly breaking some barriers, and hopefully, you know, as Gary just said, they've got a long day ahead of them. So wishing them well on everything. But so far, what a beautiful launch to watch.
Yeah, to be returning to the lunar orbit in more than 50 years. Maybe they go farther from Earth than any other humans before them. Maybe they see parts of the moon that we've never seen before. I mean, what a great start to what could be all of these milestones that we break in just a 10-day mission.
Yes, what a way to welcome in the Artemis generation.
Yeah, how do you feel? I mean, we saw some beautiful shots we were covering of course, the rocket, of course, the Earth falling away as we continued up into our ascents, but also some of those crowd shots where we saw young and old, just emotional, overcome by this history-making moment.
Man, we are going back to the moon for all, and we saw that today. We saw that in all the crowds. And yeah, you guys just saw that view, the sunrise or sunset, I guess. They just made it over the crest of the Earth, and you could see the sun peeking over. One of my favorite views from space, and I can't imagine what they're looking at now, and I can't wait to see what they're looking at in about 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm surprised this launched on the first try, because we know, like any little thing, we have to be keeping safety in mind, and we want to make sure we're ready to go. But we were ready to go, and I think it surprised.
Okay, they're great, but we're going to move over now to looking at some people who've been capturing this themselves and tagging me. So here's Artemis 2 taken, where is this from? Probably Florida. Where is this? New Jersey. Here's someone who captured it from New Jersey. Right here. The thing's really hauling. Wow. Let's see if they go forward. Great capture, though, by our friend Seriane. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. JL, big fan of the channel, big time supporter, awesome dude. Captured this picture from Riverside, New Jersey. Thank you for sharing that. And more from JL here. Okay. And that was just what was in my notifications. Here's Troy James showing the exhaust smoke plume going up. Thanks, Troy, for sharing that. I don't know what's going to show up on the home feed. I'm sure people, if you see April Fool's post, I'm sure there's some people posting shots. Let's type this in. Let's type in Artemis 2. See what we get. Sue Nelson. Don't know who she is, but Sue Nelson getting a pretty nice capture of Artemis 2 here. Surprised we don't have more people posting photos. Of course, this is like every second someone's posting the tagline Artemis 2. Here's a video. Let's watch this video. Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, someone may be yanking my chain. They just said big earthquake. We'll give it a look. I'll put back on the NASA stream while I check that out, okay?
Milestone and says to the flight control teams that we will continue on today's mission. Power needs to be drawn to continue through some of the next milestones.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Until then, the
These people
AOA
always-
open option that was called up upon ascent, the abort once around, is the current option, and abort to orbit option ATO will be switched to a preferred mode at the time that the solar array wings are deployed and latched. It gives the flight control teams a little bit.
Okay. We just had a magnitude 7 hit Indonesia. It's not yet on the USGS map, but will be on volcano discovery. Literally happened the moment Artemis 2 blasted off. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Okay. I'm pulling it up right now. Yep. 7.1, 7.0. We'll see what USGS pegs it at right now. Earthquakes. Now, volcano discovery is showing as a 7.7. Let's move it over. Here we see the volcano discovery map. And this map's always a little wacky. And we see the 7.7 right there. Now, the phone app, which I just checked, said magnitude 7, same developer. But here we go. 8 minutes ago, in the Malacca Sea. Maybe it's on the USGS now. I don't think it usually takes like 10 minutes to get here. We already had a magnitude 6 today. So we see the magnitude 6 right there.
The crew was providing some preliminary numbers of when to expect handovers between the tracking and data relay satellites. Currently orbiting Earth at an altitude of 545 statute miles.
I want this map to show up better. But this map is awful. There we go. It's a little better.
The burn itself will put them in an altitude that surpasses the range of the tracking and data relay satellites, and they will transition to the deep space network today.
Oh, okay. Wow, 7.8. That's the USGS. I'm going to turn off this NASA live stream now. They're done. We'll go to the other one maybe later. Thank you, NASA, for the live stream. We just had a big MAG 7.8 right as Artemis 2 blast off. Almost like Earth is basically saying, I see you. I see what's happening. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to, unless this is a joke by the USGS, I'm going to exit this live stream and I'm going to start another one. So they're not connected together, or else people get lost in this and that. So, well, I guess everyone's here already. I'll split this off as a separate video. So we'll talk about this a little bit. I mean, this is pretty big. Wow. So, hey everyone, geophysicist Stefan Burns here. We just had a magnitude 7.8 earthquake strike Indonesia. This is now the strongest earthquake yet in 2026. This data just now coming in. It may be revised in terms of its magnitude. So maybe it doesn't hold on to the title of strongest earthquake if it gets revised down. But this depth here is only about 10 kilometers. So it's really quite shallow, and it is in that range that is big enough to perhaps trigger a tsunami. So let's check right now whether we have any sort of tsunami alert from this. So we'll type in NOAA tsunami, and that should pull it up. And if it's not this one, it's going to be this other web page right below it. Yeah, okay. Tsunami threat right now, Malacca Sea, magnitude 7.8, depth 6 miles. Let's see what they have to say here. They are showing a threat for these areas right here. So we have a threat for Indonesia. We have a threat for Malaysia, threat for the Philippines. I would think that this would also extend over to Papua New Guinea, maybe even the northern coast of Australia. This is a big earthquake. The strongest that we've had this year up to this moment was a 7.5 that struck Tonga, 7.6, 7.5. I think it got revised to 7.5. And someone just said that this is the antipode for Florida, or something like that. You know, lots of jokers in the chat, but let's check it out. We have our Super Tunnel app. That would be crazy if that was the case. Like, actually, well, it's pretty close. It's pretty close at antipode. Not exactly. Florida's here. That's smack on. The antipode is quite a bit to the south and to the west of Malacca, the Malacca Sea. And maybe we type in specifically like one of these towns here. Jailolo, let's type that one. Let's see if it pops up. Okay, so yeah, the antipode is not exactly, it's more for Brazil. But big earthquake, tsunami threat right now for it, active at this moment in time for these locations all across effectively Southeast Asia. So this is a big deal. We just had the 4 astronauts aboard Artemis 2 blast off on their moon mission, a 10-day mission around the moon. That happened like 3 minutes before this earthquake. The timing is insane. We just watched, this is the same live stream, but we're splitting this off as a separate video. We just watched that, and yeah, this is really quite incredible. There may be some updates here specifically on this. Let's see what they say for Hawaii as it relates to this. An earthquake has occurred with the preliminary parameters 7.8, Molucca Sea, or maybe it's Molucca Sea. A tsunami threat exists for parts of the Pacific located closer to the earthquake. However, based on all available data, there's no tsunami threat for Hawaii. That's good to know. That'd be pretty far away. That would be pretty far away. We can also pull up a tsunami lab. This is like a simulator. Let's give this guy a look. And we'll put a tsunami in this right in that location. So let's get the exact point for that. It's like right where it curves up like this. Okay. So we should be able to put it, and let's just check one more time. Okay, and that's in between. So it's like right here, basically. Just drag that. And let's drop this down to 7 point. Let's first do this. Let's drop this down to 7.8. That should be good enough. Let's watch this. Let's watch this go off. So here's a simulated tsunami wave or waves from this magnitude 7.8 that just ruptured in Southeast Asia. And yeah, it's really hitting Indonesia. It's also hitting Malaysia and the Philippines quite strongly. This will propagate up. Looks like there'll be some action there in Taiwan, Japan. A 7.8 is big, but as it relates to tsunamis, it's probably not the biggest concern. Like, you're really talking about magnitude 8s and greater for real tsunami threats, like really disastrous. But for locations right in that zone, that's a big concern, because again, it was only 10 kilometers down. So this is concerning. This is really quite concerning. Let's see if we can. Here's, they have one for Guam here. Let's see what they say for Guam, which is quite a bit closer. No tsunami threat to Guam based on all available data. Okay. It's good to know. Do they have a location closer to Indonesia, Philippines, or more? Not that I'm seeing. Okay, let's even refresh this to see what happens. Still have a tsunami threat right now. If you live in these locations, if you happen to live in these locations, you really need to like right in these locations, you need to get to higher ground right now. Like if you're in the Philippines on the coast, you should get to high ground right now. This is not a drill. This is not an April Fool's joke. This is not a drill. If you're in these locations, if you're in Bali or something like that, like if you're my buddy my two buddies in Bali should probably get to higher ground as soon as possible. Shout out to my friends there. Downgraded to 7.4. That's a good thing. 7.8 is quite a bit bigger than 7.4. No aftershocks yet. 7.4 gets to the zone where I'm actually concerned about there being a real earthquake risk or tsunami risk. 7.4, you could still have a big tsunami. It's now coming at a depth of 35 kilometers. That, I think that basically nullifies most of my concerns with a tsunami. Typically, it needs to be really big and really shallow for a tsunami to be really devastating. So, okay, so I'll leave you guys with that. I'll update you more on this earthquake as necessary, but that is our quick update. Magnitude 7.4, aftershocks likely coming of magnitude 6 or greater, thankfully depth at 35 kilometers. So no super big concern there, but we'll find out. I'll be back with more information. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. I've been your host, Stefan Burns. This earthquake occurred just minutes after the launch of Artemis 2. Godspeed to them. I hope that everything goes well with them. I hope that everything is okay with the people in this area. Again, I'll give you an update as soon as I can on this. And we also, keep you updated on the space weather, the planetary alignments, everything. Happy full moon. It is a full moon. It goes exact in about 3 hours. So this is a classic example of a high magnitude earthquake coinciding with a lunar energy peak. So yeah, I'll keep you up to date. Thank you all. God bless. See you soon, and wishing you well. Have a great night.
Welcome to civilization.
Oh, wow. What an operation. This is huge. Did you build this?
Yeah. Santinello.
That's your Google Calendar.
What does that mean?
I love it.
These deer go.
And then what do?
I grab my 22.
This is toothache plant.
You know, in permaculture, we're time scouts.
What a place.
It showed us how ridiculously dependent we are on systems that we're not even paying attention to.
This is delicious.
First world, third world. Well, this is the fourth world, so you figure it out.
It's pretty special. They've been doing this for almost a half century out here. Dano, this is beautiful out here.
Is that all you got?
That's it. I roll.
I was wondering if I needed to bring a wheelbarrow.
Oh no, here's some peanut butter cookies.
Thank you.
Do you eat those?
Do we eat them? Yeah.
Okay. I thought you'd like something like that out here.
Welcome to Waialua. It means twin waters. Wai is the Hawaiian word for water. That's why you have so many Wais cities. Waianae, Wailuku, Waihe'e. Because we live 500 feet off road, wheelbarrows are a way of life. I have a small fleet of them.
When did you first move here?
Mid-70s, 76 I came.
And you're from San Diego?
Yeah.
How many acres do you have back here?
This is about an acre here, and we got an acre over there. This is a food forest here. In permaculture, we call it a food forest. We cleared it and we planted, and now everything here is a useful, edible plant.
Is this cacao?
This is cacao. This is our mother tree. My wife just harvested. These are real close. Remind me, I'll show you when we get home, roasted cacao seeds.
Okay.
And we'll grind some into coffee.
Great.
I didn't realize what a out-of-the-box existence it is, but there have been times where I look at Robin and I go, I haven't seen another human being in 2 weeks, and I don't even notice it. I haven't been in a car in 2 weeks.
When's the last time you saw TV?
China Beach. I was in the 80s.
So you've never even seen CNN or Fox News or any of this?
In the 80s, we had no electricity, we had no radio, we had no television. In the 80s, when our girls were young, we had kerosene lamps.
How many girls did you raise here?
4. And we happened to go over to Maui, and we heard something about this guy named Michael Jackson, who had caught himself on fire on stage. And then we were late night at a friend's house watching TV, and this comedy show comes on, and there was a little skit, and then it was like the introductory skit, and it goes, 15th anniversary Saturday Night Live. And we go, oh, this looks interesting. Let's watch this. I mean, I never even heard of Saturday Night Live. And this is after Gilda Radner and everything. So, I mean, we dropped out of, we were on Mars during the 80s. And we were doing this because—
Where are you now? What planet?
You know, in permaculture, we're time scouts. Bill Mollison would say we're time scouts. Because if I look at any